My dad was the base intelligence officer here at the Roswell Army Air Field in 1947. When we first were stationed at the air base, we lived in base housing. And about 6 months later, that's when my dad bought the house here in Roswell. There's the house.
You see it?
On the corner.
Oh, right on the corner.
This is a ranching community, not too many people here at that time. Apparently something crashed on the Foster Ranch, which is about 75 miles northwest of Roswell. The rancher didn't know what it was. The sheriff of Chaves County did not know what it was. So anyway, they contacted Colonel Blanchard, who was the base commander at the Roswell Army Air Field. So he sent my dad out with a CIC agent to investigate what this was. And the rancher took him out to a debris field where something splattered against the ground, leaving a wide swath of debris, maybe half-mile long, three-quarters of a mile long, or half-mile wide. So what they did was to gather up respective pieces of this and then drive it back into Roswell. As it happens, our house was on the way to the air base. Even though it was late in the evening, early in the morning, my dad wanted to show my mother and myself remnants of something that crashed out there. The kitchen was just where that white wall is there. He had pre-positioned material on the kitchen floor, and he got my mother and myself up to look at this. I think my mother was up first though. So I walked into the kitchen and I saw all this junk on the floor. I thought, what in the world is he doing, getting me up at this ungodly hour? So anyway, he says, look at this. Again, I think he used the words flying saucer in connection with the debris. So I started looking at the foil. I thought, well, what is this? This is kind of a strange material here. And I didn't try to bend it or tear it or deform it. My dad did though. And when he got back to the base, and he said it could not be permanently dented. One of his guys worked with him, took a sledgehammer and tried to bend it. No permanent deformity with it at all. So this is very strange material. The next thing I looked at was there's some little beams on the floor too. So I picked one of them, looked like metallic. The strangest part of that was there was some writing or some sort of a writing along the inside surface of this. When I first saw that, I thought, this looks like Egyptian hieroglyphics. But closer inspection, it was not hieroglyphics. It's more like geometric symbols, like oblate spheroids, triangles, truncated triangles, of various shapes along the inside surface. They're violet, purple hue, semi-reflective of light. In other words, if you held up like that to the light over your shoulder, they would reflect back at you to some degree. And that was, I guess, the most weird part of the whole thing there. This is the main gate where it used to be a concrete station here for the gate, for the guardhouse. And the sign for RAF, Roswell Army Air Field, was right there where that light standard is. So they've taken that down. But that's where the main gate was that you had to pass through to get on the base. Yeah, that's where the control tower for the air base was. Where they control incoming and outgoing flights of B-29s. There should be a big hangar down this way where they brought the bodies and the debris field first. And because there is a battery room in there which is kind of sequestered, and that's where they put the bodies. That's what I've been told. My dad, apparently under the direction of Colonel Blanchard, flew this debris to Fort Worth, where General Ramey, who was the 8th Air Force commander, to show him. And apparently the law was laid down at that time that no word was to be spoken about this. So when he got back from Fort Worth, he sat my mother and myself down and said, look, treat this as a non-event, didn't happen, don't ever talk about this again. And since 1947, I saw this strange material, not of earthly manufacture, the way I recall it, and my dad recalled it too. It made me feel that we're not alone, that there's others out there. This is something that came from outer space.